points of view and the content on this show are those of the speaker and do not reflect those of the station, its management, administration, and the Board of Trustees of City College of San Francisco. Thanks again for listening to KCSF, your community, your radio. This is Castro from KCSF, and your host of Voices of the Community. Voices of the Community will bring you critical issues facing San Francisco and the Bay Area. We will introduce you to voices of the community who are working on solutions that face our fellow individual community members, neighborhoods, cities, and our region. Welcome to the first show of Voices of the Community. Tonight's show is focused on our fellow citizens who find themselves homeless. The show is a work in progress, and we would appreciate your feedback and comments on what you like about the show, what topics you want to hear more about or less about. If you'd like to make comments about Voices of the Community programs, please go to Mixcloud and search for Voices of the Community to leave a comment in the comment section. In today's show, we'll be hearing from Chris Schaefer, Program Director of City College of San Francisco's Homeless at-Risk Transitional Student Program, also known as HARTS. Angel Vada, a City College of San Francisco student who is using the services of HARTS, and Sammy Rayner, the co-founder of HandUp. So before we hear from our guest, I want to provide you a brief overview of our fellow community members experiencing homelessness and the homelessness situation facing the city of San Francisco. In 2004, then Mayor Gavin Newsom launched the 10-year plan to abolish chronic homelessness in San Francisco. 10 years and over $1.5 billion later, 19,500 homeless people, about the size of the Castro neighborhood, have been moved off the street. But in the 2014 survey of homeless citizens, the numbers have remained almost the same over the 2 years at around 6,686 people to a high estimate of about 8,000, or almost 1% of the population of the city of San Francisco. Homeless citizens have gone up 27% in some neighborhoods because of the pressure from gentrification. The population has become more visible in encampments and open drop markets and neighborhood containment zones such as Civic and the south of Market neighborhoods. The homeless population has become sicker, older, and includes more families. An interesting statistic I found where students or children living homeless in California doubled since 2010, which is estimated to be over 20,000 homeless students in the San Francisco area alone. According to Ben Kaufman with the Office of Pupil Services at San Francisco Unified School District, around 4% of students are homeless, which is estimated at over 2,000 students in the city of San Francisco. The chronically homeless, those who are able to have been on the street episodically for more than a year, and who have the most resources, plummeted from 31% of the total to 25%, which is great news, but that still estimates around 1,700 to 2,000 chronically homeless people on the streets of San Francisco. But this news is that the largest rate since the accounts began in San Francisco in 2002. The number of chronically homeless veterans also fell from 11% of the total to 9%, or around 208 people. This number is still small, and the mayor's office believes that the city can reach its goal of erasing homeless veterans by 2016. So with all the money, resources, and efforts, the homeless have become more visible in upscale neighborhoods with more panhandling along, with 10 encampments in at least and underfree overpasses. And human waste starting the street has increased because there's not enough public toilets. More people have become alone with the chronic homelessness, which is now estimated at around 2,000 of the 7,000 to 8,000 homeless population. So before we started, former Mayor Newsom has come to the conclusion that there is no homeless problem. There's an interesting quote from Mayor Newsom. There's a mythology that you can end homelessness at any moment. There are new people coming in, suffering for the cycles of their lives, he said. It's the manifestation of complete attempted failure as a society. We'll never solve this at City Hall. Unquote. If you are just joining us, today we are discussing homelessness in San Francisco and speaking with Chris Schaefer, Program Director of City College of San Francisco's Homeless at-Risk Transitional Students Program, also known as HARTS, Angel Vaya, a City College of San Francisco student who is using the services of HARTS, and Sammy Rayner, co-founder of HandUp, a charitable giving web-based platform. The interview with Chris from HARTS took place in the North Office, which is a small two-room office in City College that houses crisis staffs, an administrative person, and computers for homeless students to work on. You will hear a lot of background movies from HARTS students, talking and working along with Angel's dog, who likes to talk to Angel. The emphasis of the HARTS program is on building partnerships designed to directly impact homelessness by linking the resources of City College to the broader community agencies and those of the agencies to City College. Here are some of the services that HARTS provides homeless students. Enroll assistance, academic advising assistance, Department of Human Services assistance and referrals, resources and referral for all college student services, shelter through SRO programming and resources and referrals, maybe Fast Pass, food vouchers at the Ocean Cafeteria here at CCSF, AT&T phone vouchers, along with peer advising and assistance. This is George Castro from KCSF's Voices of the Community. I'm here today with Chris Schaefer, Program Director of City College of San Francisco's Homeless at-Risk Transitional Students Program, also known as HEARTS. The HEARTS program of City College of San Francisco is dedicated to creating paths out of poverty and homelessness by providing access, advocacy, resources, and support for homeless, formerly homeless, and at-risk students within the college, and for those potential students in similar situations who wish to return to the educational setting. Chris, welcome to Voices of the Community.
Thank you.
So, can you tell me why the HEARTS program was created?
To service those students who weren't receiving services, or so we thought. Students that came to the college didn't know how to enroll themselves, didn't know how to schedule classes, very poor, no place to live, very difficult. And we thought we'd set up a program that would allow them to come in, discuss their situation with us, and we could help them enroll for programs and classes and the school as a whole, and get services. We didn't have much from the beginning with. The beginners had just made it to assist them with their needs in their college, how to get over in the classes, how to study a little better, classes that might be appropriate for them, that kind of thing.
And then could you give me an example of how HEARTS helps students?
We provide food, not a lot, but we have three. We use the ID card now to put the food voucher on 3 times a semester. It's $180 per semester. We do fast passes every month, Muni passes. For BART Muni and Muni passes, we ask the students to pay $25 for the BART Muni and $15 for the Muni. We pay $80 to $83 for the Muni and $70 for the BART Muni. So we give them a discount so they can get back and forth to school and have food to eat while they're here. And we have a clothing closet too, actually, so they can get some clothes if they need them.
And then how many students does HEARTS provide services to each semester?
About 150 to 160 every semester.
And then when did you become interested in helping homeless students? I think, as I recall what I read, you've been at this for over 20 some odd years, and you were one of the initial people that helped start HEARTS.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, I worked the jails for 10 years, and I saw a lot of problems there with regards to people being homeless, being in need of education. I did the GED program for the county jail, City College of County Jail. So I did that for 10 years. So I knew a lot about the population we'd have to deal with here. A lot of my students, about 20% of our students, are ex-offenders. So I've got that population that I deal with, that I already knew how to deal with and could work with pretty well. And the need was great. I worked in non-credit most of the time at the college, except for the last few years. I worked in non-credit, which is students who are generally exceptionally poor, exceptionally in need on social services. And so I worked with those students for like 14 years. Before the program even started, I was doing that.
And then why do you work with the HEARTS program?
That was the way I could I'd have a way to provide for the most needy students in the college. That's what the HEARTS program does. Those people who wouldn't otherwise get access to college programs, be able to stay in college, be able to finish their programs and get a job, move out of homelessness. The HEARTS program helps them do that. That's why I wanted to be a part of the HEARTS program. It helps set it up to begin with.
So in your 25 works of working with homeless students, is there a common thread that you've seen with regards to homeless students? Common areas that, is it housing, food, transportation?
Housing is the worst thing going. In San Francisco, it's almost impossible to get housing. You've got to start on the shelter. It's very difficult living in a shelter. So the housing is the most important issue. We can get into college, we can get financial aid. Then we've got to maintain our classes and get the grades. Students don't know how to study. They often don't know how to take the tests. They often have to miss classes because of problems they're having, personal problems, dealing with issues of homelessness, poverty, food, clothing. So we're trying to help out with all those issues to keep them in school and get them through their programs.
And I noticed in an earlier article you had worked on the idea of working with the hotel, trying to get housing for students.
The college isn't going to do that.
Right.
No way.
Yeah.
There was a hotel down in Market Street, on Mission Street, that was interested in having us participate in it. And I took one of the Board of Governors went down there with me. We looked at it. It had been closed because people were shooting from the windows. So it had been closed and they were remodeling it. There were 15 rooms. But the college isn't going to participate in that kind of thing. Actually, now there's a lot of housing. If you can stay in a shelter long enough, probably 6 months, you generally get into an SRO at a reduced rate with assistance, housing assistance. So you can do it.
Okay.
You just have to be able to wait it out. And the only thing about the shelters, they're very difficult to live in.
Right.
You set your books down, they're stolen. You set anything down, they're stolen. It's the way it works. There's a lot of drugs and alcohol, sadly. They go through the shelter because they're needy people.
Right.
They're often coming off some kind of addiction. I have a lot of students who are addicted to alcohol or drugs one way or another. Out of their poverty, I mean, that's part of what gets you into poverty is a drug addiction or alcoholism. You lose your job, you lose your housing. So I mean, the college is not going to front money for that kind of thing, insurance and all that. But there are plenty of agencies in the city now that are doing that with the SROs. SRO system is not too bad. You can wait long enough to get into one with the system. You need a caseworker. Everybody who comes in the program is supposed to go to one of the agencies, get a caseworker, and get a letter from the agency showing that their need is great enough for them to be in the program if you're at the college. And that caseworker will help you if you stick with them and go to them. I had a woman that came in here last year, homeless, got into a shelter. 6 months later, she had housing in an SRO, maybe not the best SRO, but she had her own room. That's the way to do it. That's the way to go. A lot of people can't wait it out. They can't deal with the shelter. They don't take the time to go and visit with the worker, with the caseworker, and stick with that caseworker to get the appropriate assistance. If they do that, they will get it. But it's very hard for you to do that when you're out on the streets, when you're homeless, when you're living in your car. A lot of the guys are on state, federal probation. They have housing that they stay in, but it's very poor. It's not well organized. They don't get much assistance there, and they don't get assistance when they get out. Some of the rehab facilities don't give you assistance when they let you out of the program, either. They don't have housing that you can go to. You have to do that on your own. Although sometimes caseworkers will help you out a little bit. For the most part, you're on your own when you get out of one of those facilities, and it's very hard. They made the connections to get into place,
And how many agencies does Hearts work with?
Well, I gave you a list there of about 25 or 30.
Okay.
I mean, they refer students to us. We refer students to them, too.
And so, what is one of your most memorable experiences helping a student?
Oh, there have been so many. Our students end up community. Leave here and go to colleges and universities. Berkeley, all the state universities have had our students. San Francisco State gets a lot of our students.
You get that. My section he just came in.
I don't know. I couldn't figure out any one. It's just a matter of they're coming here, they're getting their certificates, they're getting their programs finished, they're getting their AAS degrees, and they're moving on. I mean, I've had some very rough people coming here with them. The amazing thing is what education does for you. You come in here off the streets, out of jail, and you're really rough, very rough. Difficult to get along with, hard to get along with others, hard to accept the fact that you're going to go and sit in the classroom. A year later, they're different people. 2 years later, they're different people. They talk differently. They think differently. They think much better about themselves. They stand straighter. They speak more forcefully in a good manner. Have a better diction process. It's amazing. It's over and over and over and over again. I've seen that students. It just makes you a different person. Education is something that can change you and your life. Whereas there isn't much else that can do that the way education can. So education is so important. I wish people would realize how important education is. When people off the streets get into an education facility.
Out of all of your time working in Hearts, Chris, is there any heartbreaking stories?
I've seen guys fall off the wagon. I've had guys work in my office fall off the wagon, disappear, leave their roommates, land up on the streets again. I saw a lot of at the jail. I'd see people come into the jail, they'd buff up, they'd get strong, they'd look good, men and women, they look ripped. When they leave, and I'd see them on the streets a few months later, and they look like they've been dragged out of hell, I've seen too much of that. I've seen people passed out. Students of mine passed out in the streets on the Tenderloin, passed out in drunkenness, lying in the gutter, That's tough. I don't like that. They die. Some of them die. And just that falling back again. I mean, that's the thing that we have to work on very, very hard and keep people at. Once you stop using, stay stopped. But as one guy said to me one day, he said, maybe the 90th time, you got to stick with them. Maybe it's the 90th time they finally do stuff. They generally do, but if they can stay alive that long. So that's what he said, and I thought that was a good way to put it. Maybe the 90th time they tried here, they fall off, and finally one day they stay out, move on with their lives. But it's very hard. There's no place to go. If you had a place to go, like the people that come out of jail, where would they go? Back to the TL, back to the neighborhoods, back to where the people were that got them in the first place, their addictions. So how do they stay away from those? The only people they know. There's a great, the sheriff's department did a great video once. One of the students who got out, what happened to her. She went down to a hotel on 6th Street, walked in, somebody wanted to turn around. She looked at him and she decided, I'm not going to do it. She walked out. It was one of the greatest stories I've had on tape. Her discussing this issue, that going back to the situation and walking away from it, which is just wonderful. She had really great strength to do that. If you're talking not just about these people, you're talking about their families, talking about their children. A lot of these women have children. A lot of these men have children. If you're looking after them, you're looking after their kids and the next generation. Generations down. Once they get cleaned up and squared away, education, moving on, and their kids move on. Their family moves on. Everybody feels better about themselves and others. And they can live a good life, and that's what it's all about.
An idea of what your annual budget is? I'm sure it's too low for what you're trying to do.
Well, we had a little more, but we get, I guess it's about $28,000 for the Fast Pass, which are now $83 and $80, I spent $5,000 this month on Fast Pass alone, so we have to get people to kick in for $25 and $15. If they don't, we won't have enough money to finish the year, during the academic year. We get about $30,000 for food, which costs, and that's only for the cafeteria. I give them $60 to last for 5 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks at a time. That isn't enough either. If we're going to run out of money, I'm doing 60. I'll have to cut it down to 50 maybe next semester. We'll see what I have left. We could use more money for food. That's a situation that's difficult. We got a lot of kick-in for clothes. A lot of faculty came through and staff giving us clothes for students. We have a room full of clothes. And so that's going pretty well. So there's no reason why we can't have something. Then we use the showers. We can use the showers. I had a little discussion with the police department about using the showers and stuff. Because sometimes they're looking for homeless and looking at them and thinking they're not supposed to be here. And I said, well, if they're my students or our students, they're college students, they should be allowed to use the shower. Actually, the police department here is quite good. City College Police has always treated our students very well. And some of our students have emotional problems, Some of them are on medication. They stop taking the medications. They start causing trouble for themselves and fear in others. The police department works with that very well. They're very good about that. I'm proud of our police here at City College.
If one of our listeners wanted to support Hearts, how would they do that?
Well, they can talk to me and see what they'd like to do for us. We couldn't take any money, but the money can go to the controller's office. If anybody wanted to donate a few bucks. Actually, the health center here on campus donated $280 last semester. I kicked in $20. We had $300 we put on the book vouchers. We really need money for book vouchers. We only had, we ended up with $1,600 this semester, which I doled it out at like $50 a piece for 50 students. Some of whom couldn't use it because $50 books, you don't have $50 books hardly at all anymore, They're $100, $200 books now,
right,
with the math department, English department, biology departments, all of them. I bought books for my both two kids are here. My daughter's here, my son's here, and I'm buying their books. And I mean, it's amazing. You can use books online for $130. Maybe it costs you $230 new, but it's still $130. Our students don't have credit cards, so they can't get those half-price books online. So they depend upon book vouchers. And other students may be buying for other students that can pay, but they don't have the money. They don't have credit cards, so they can't buy online. They don't have debit cards, they can't buy online. So that takes that whole area of concern in a different light. They can't buy those books for half price and a third price, which you can do online. That's why I get my kids' books is online.
And so if someone wanted to donate, they could call you up and donate. Is there a
put it through the controller's office.
Through City College?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a foundation? I was reading that. Is there like a Hearts Foundation?
The City College Foundation.
Okay, so it's
City
through
College Foundation. City College. That's where the money went from the health department.
Okay.
Student health. That money went to the foundation, City College Foundation, which put it into our budget for this year's vouchers, book vouchers. It's worked out pretty well.
Right.
So back to textbooks for a moment. If students here who participate and listen to the show wanted to help their fellow Hearts students donate a book back, let's say they finish the semester in English or biology or history, is there a way that they could bring the books and donate it back into the program?
Well, we have the Books Loan program upstairs, which is a really good place to put your books. So we can access the book loan. That's probably the best thing to do is go to the Book Loan program. Turn those books in there because we don't really have place in there. And some of the specifics for math and English, some of those books would be very useful to us. They generally have only the basic skills ones, the basic ones. But if they give the books to the Book Loan program, the Book Loan can distribute them to students, to our students and others that are in need. So that's a good place to go, Book Loan program. It's right upstairs here.
And I imagine with the reduction in registration that your budget's been impacted as well as far as money that the school can afford to give to you.
One of the associated students cut our budget 25% last year. That was they were supposedly spending into their reserves. So the administration forced them to cut everything 25%. Which was, that's one of the reasons we had to charge the $25 and $15 for the passes, but $83 and $70, that's not a lot. So it's very important that they pay for those at $25 and $15. But that's the only cutting we've had. We didn't have our food budget cut, thank God.
And so is there, if you had a wish list, right, what would be on your wish list to increase the impact of Hearts?
More money for books.
More money for books.
I did not have any books 6 weeks into the semester, 7 weeks into the semester. What are you supposed to do? We need more money more books, more money for books. We need more money for food, too.
And is there anything that you would like to say about Hearts as far as, your 25 plus years of working here?
That's the only program like this in the whole world as far as I know. There's one in Australia that had housing, in Armidale University in Australia. Contacted me, they had housing. They've had other universities contact me asking how they can set up a program like this. And I've sent them back some information on that. As far as I know, this is the only one in the world, homeless at-risk student program in the world. So good for City College. City College is a great college. I don't understand this whole accreditation piece. That's a phony setup. It's a wonderful school. I've been here for 25 years. I've even grown student services. We were on the 1 or 2 or 3 different organizations serving students on campus. We started up, now there are about 7 or 8. It's really wonderful. It's a wonderful place for students to come. Wonderful place for students to grow. Wonderful place for students to come and get over no matter what their disadvantages may be. It's a great school.
Thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate your time.
Sure.
According to Chris, his budget for textbooks and food has really been impacted this year. If you'd like to support the Heart program, you can send a donation to City College of San Francisco, 50 Phelan Avenue, San Francisco, California, 94112. Attention, the Controller's Office. Please include a note that you want direct your donation to the Heart program.
You better mind how you talk.
The Heritage of Slavery Born in the Western Plaza is also training with Friends of Legal Spirituals, San Francisco Public Library's African American Center, and Legal Spirituals Heritage Day, Saturday, October 17th from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. This free event takes place in the auditorium of the San Francisco Main Library at 100 Market Street. Please join in the celebration featuring the 2015 Legal Spirituals Heritage Keepers Award Ceremony, the Legal Spirituals Oral History Project, and the Civic Treasure Legal Spirituals. For more information on our Legal Spirituals Heritage Day event, take place Saturday, October 17th from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. in the Current Auditorium at San Francisco Main Library. Please call 510-869-4555. If you are just joining us, today we are discussing homelessness in San Francisco and speaking with Chris Schaefer, Program Director of City College of San Francisco's Homeless At-Risk Transitional Students Program, also known as Hearts, Angel Vaya, a City College of San Francisco student who is using the services of Hearts, and Sammy Raynar, co-founder of Hand Up, a charitable giving web-based platform. I'm Angel at the Hearts office while she was working with Chris just to cure support services. Angel's been working with the Hearts program for several years to help her deal with her homelessness. Here's Angel telling you a little about becoming homeless and how she utilizes Hearts services.
And Angel, you've been a part of the Hearts program for how long?
For quite some time. It's been for approximately 3 years now. I have been on and off because I was also trying to take care. I am a DSPS student, which is a disabled student. and I was taking care of my mom for the past 10 years. Taking care of my mom gave me some purpose, although I was disabled. I am employed by the post office, but I am on the job. I have an on-the-job injury. They basically took my life away, and I have 580 discs in my back. Both my arms hurt, and not only that, but I had post-traumatic stress disorder due to on-the-job stress. For years, I did not know how to get out of that because I felt like if I lost my purpose. So not only physically, but psychologically disabling. When my mom needed my help, I felt like if I found a little bit purpose there. So I was taking classes here and there while I was taking care of her. And that's when I started the Hearts program. And still, while before I was taking care of my mom, ever since I was homeless, I never had a home in which I could call my home. And I lost an enormous amount of things because of this injury. My mom recently passed away last year. I was discriminated against by the owner due to my disability. Thank goodness that there was a friend of mine. She allowed me to sleep in the car. Both my daughter and I were sleeping in the car. What made me come back is the Hearts program and my mom's smile. Remembering her and what she wanted for me. That's why my whole focus now is finishing. I know I have a long journey, but I remember her smile. My mom was a vice president of Head Start a long time ago when the government was going to shut it down. She and the president went to Washington, D.C. and went there to fight. Not only did they not discontinue the Head Start program, but they gave it more funding. So the Head Start program today is what it is because of my mom's fight. So with her drive, I know I have drive, and I know that one day there would be Dr. Angel Amaya. And that's why I'm pushing, I'm studying, and I know it may be a long journey, but I will get there.
And it sounds like the Hearts program is helping you on your journey.
Tremendously. They've helped me with books. They've helped me with, because when you're really studying and focus, it takes time. So there's time where I'm studying on campus and I don't have anything to eat. You need food in order to study. So because of their food program, I'm able to go there and grab something to eat and keep focusing on my studies and so on and so forth. When I need to get on the bus, because of my disability, because, you can walk to school if you're not disabled, So, but, the Muni passes or the BART passes that they have, the connections of it, it's very helpful, and whenever, I don't have a computer. That's one thing that I've always, I even tried myself trying to get organizations to sponsor maybe some laptops or something like that the students could use while they're going to school, but I haven't been successful as of yet. But not having a computer makes it a little bit more difficult. But even if it's difficult, if you have the drive, you make it a way. They have computers in here that I used to do my assignments and quiet time. Sometimes you don't want to. There's so many resources here at Cedar City College that makes it possible. If you really research and you really reach out, they're here for you. You have amazing teachers that are like Dr. Rowley, Sean Rowley. He saw my struggle when I was taking care of my mom. He has been the most patient after. And he's an amazing teacher. And
No, I shouldn't have done that.
although I have a bad back, I probably would break my back for the people that are here, you know what I mean? But they're amazing. They helped me through some struggles. And now that my mom has passed, for a while when she was passed, because she was the one that gave me a little purpose, I was saying, I don't want to be here because I saw so much, pain. And I don't know. But then when I saw compassion in certain people and patience and love, it made me start to heal, And right now I'm in my healing process, and the Hearts program is probably one of the people and organizations that helped me do that.
Thank you very much. That was great.
Yeah.
If you were just joining us, today we are discussing homelessness in San Francisco and speaking with Chris Schaefer, Program Director of City College of San Francisco's Homeless At-Risk Transitional Students Program, also known as HEARTS, Angel Vaya, a City College of San Francisco student who is using the services of HEARTS, and Sammy Raynar, co-founder of Hand Up, a charitable giving web-based platform. Sammy Raynar is one of 3 co-founders of Hand Up. Sammy is responsible for business development and partnerships with both corporate and nonprofit fundraising as well as company operations. Before joining Hand Up, Sammy founded and served as the executive director of Luminata, a microfinance organization in West Africa. Sammy is passionate about developing market-based solutions to tackle urban poverty in the United States.
George Castro from KCSF's Voices of the Community. I'm here today with Sammy Raynar, who's one of the co-founders of Hand Up. And Sammy, what is Hand Up?
Hand Up is a platform where you can give directly to a specific individual experiencing homelessness in the community.
And you're one of the co-founders of Hand Up, as I understand it.
Correct.
And so who are the other co-founders?
Our CEO, Rose Broom, really had the initial idea for Hand Up. And
okay.
So my other co-founders are Rose Broom and Zach Whitty. And really the whole idea for Hand Up came out of Rose one night walking past a woman on the street and saying to herself, in a society with so much wealth, so much innovation here in San Francisco, the heart of so much tech, why is there not a way I can help this woman in this moment? And really from there, started it as a side project, and before we knew it, it became, took a life of its own and is what Hand Up is today.
And so how, just to go back in time, so from that kernel of idea, Rose reached out to yourself and Sam? Zach. Sorry about that. To kind of create this platform. I mean, how did you guys architect the idea?
Really, the very first place we looked was who already knows what the situation is with homelessness. So actually a good friend, Dunny Sandoval, who has started Lava May, said you should talk to Project Homeless Connect. And right away, Kara Zordell and the team over at Project Homeless Connect saw, they actually had been looking for something like Hand Up. They had just started a resource center called Everyday Connect, and they were looking for a way to help fundraise for basic needs like medical care, security deposits, clothing, basic needs that they knew folks dropping into their resource center would really need.
So it became a web-based platform?
Yes, yeah. It was just text to donate, and we've since launched Hand Up as a web platform. So you can go to handup.org and read specific stories of individuals, now not just in San Francisco, but slowly growing this across the country. So we now have pilots in Detroit and in Utah.
Okay. So walk me through, if I'm someone such as Rose or yourself, and I'm walking down Market Street, and I find someone who, is homeless, and I may or may not engage that person, but I'm thinking, I've heard this show, or heard about Hand Up. How do I get started? How do I engage in Hand Up and helping someone?
Yeah, the primary way through Hand Up is to go on our website and read someone's story. These are profiles that actually have been created with the help of a caseworker at one of our partner organizations. And the case managers actually help the individual purchase the final item, so 100% goes to that person. In the case of walking down the street, we actually just launched a new product, Hand Up gift cards. So this is a gift card worth $25 that you can purchase from the Hand Up website and give directly to an individual who you maybe already know in your community, you see on your way to work, and you want to support. And the gift card actually can only be redeemed at one of our partners. So again, ensuring that transparency, it's not cash, but it is connecting someone to valuable social service.
Explain to the listener the hand Up gift cards. Two things: one, who your partners are, and then two, if I'm a homeless person and I get the gift card, what do I do to take action to get my $25?
Yes, so we work with about a dozen organizations across the Bay, about 5 more in other parts of the country. Right now, Everyday Connect, the Project Homeless Connect 25 Van Ness is the redemption site for gift cards, though we're starting to expand that. And if you received a gift card as an individual experiencing homelessness, you would take that into Project Homeless Connect, and they would actually just swap it out for its value in something else. So that could be a Goodwill gift card, that could be paying an online bill. It's amazing how far $25 can go to someone who's really living day to day. And so they're able to make that really valuable for someone.
And so can you give me some examples? I know that, you do have some stories of how people have been helped from Hand Up, but an example of someone who was homeless that kind of stood out to you in their story, how the Hand Up program and really your connection to all of the service partners have helped someone perhaps get off the street or, take steps to get mental health services or whatever happens to be that they need.
Yeah. Well, one that's personal to me because I actually gave them a gift card and has been cool to watch is Bradley. He had actually just moved to San Francisco and was in the process of looking for work, not aware, as so many people when they move here, of how expensive it was. And he and his girlfriend found themselves homeless. And I actually met them on the street just a couple weeks after they got here. They had no idea what the services were in the city. I gave them a gift card, and within a few short weeks, so right away, actually, Bradley went in and redeemed the gift card, and then he actually signed up for a Hand Up profile and has since been able to initially raise money for just really basics like food and clothing, and actually now is working on a goal of construction equipment so he can get employed. So that's kind of a cool progression of, a gift card can actually turn into a lot more opportunity for someone.
And so how would someone get their hands on a Hand Up gift card? If I was interested in giving Hand Up gift cards to, my fellow citizens who happen to find themselves homeless, how would I do that?
You would go to our website, handup.org. I think it's handup.org/gift cards. And you can actually purchase gift cards through our website, and we mail them to you. And so right now we are offering matching thanks to our partnership with google.org. So you can get 2 gift cards for the price of 1 gift card.
And I know Google's been with kind of founding partners/supporters. So how did that whole relationship start? Because obviously Google, everyone in the world wants to get something from Google. So how did the relationship with Google start, and where do you guys see it going?
We got in touch with them, had actually had several contacts there, were very interested in what we were doing with Hand Up. And we were fortunate to be recognized alongside Larkin Street Youth Services and Hamilton Family Center, which are organizations that have been serving San Franciscans experiencing homelessness for 30 plus years. So really honored that we were recognized as a new kind of fresh way of tackling this problem, and I think particularly they saw that Hand Up is really focused on working within the systems that are already here and being a really collaborative partner, and they really saw how we can bring technology to enhance what's working and help more people learn about it. So they really have been incredibly supportive, not only in our grant that's offered through matching on the site, but also making a lot of other connections, sending employees out for different events and that kind of thing.
How do you guys present that to the community? Is it like a sustainable membership? Is it, how can, so I'm, someone who's bought some gift cards, found it very, easy to hand out and engage people. I want to do more of it. How else can I get engaged? Is there something I can, sign up for? I mean, for example, public radio stations are all about become a member, nonprofit groups are all about membership. So how would I become a long-term supporter of Hand Up and in turn community members who find themselves homeless?
Yeah, the best way to do that is actually giving on a recurring basis to Hand Up's national fund. So we saw a lot of donors said, we love the stories, we love how transparent and direct the site is, but wanted to be able to, support every month and have it go to different people. So we created the national fund, and when you donate on there, we make sure that those funds go to the cases that are most needed, or to folks who aren't getting funding otherwise. Everyone's question whenever donating money is, how much of the money that I donate, if I give $100, how much of that $100 goes to, in this example, the homeless person I'm trying to support versus the overhead of the organizations who are trying to help the homeless person? Yeah, absolutely. So we set out saying we wanted to make this transparent and really clear for people. So when you donate $100 to, for example, Bradley, $100 goes to Bradley. When you are in the checkout process, you have the option to give Hand Up a support fee. And so far, thankfully, 80 to 90% of our donors do that. But I think they like that it's in your control, and it's very clear to see how much you want to support us, which we really definitely need and appreciate so we can grow. And then for the gift cards, we do charge 8%, just because there is a cost of printing these and sending them out and all of that. Would you estimate right now that the Hand Up program is helped to date? And then the follow-on question to that would be, where do you envision Hand Up going with regards to scaling its impact? Great questions. Yeah, so we to date have served over 1,000 individuals and families through Hand Up. Everything as small as a driver's license to as big as a security deposit or a new set of dentures. And that's been thanks to about 3,000 donors and close to $1 million that we've raised so far. And our vision is really to see Hand Up as a, household name for people who want to give and want to support homelessness and don't know where to get started and really want a personal, direct connection to someone. And so we're really focused right now on national scale. So bringing this to new cities across the country and really growing this network of so many different players. There's the individuals experiencing homelessness and their stories and how powerful those are. The everyday citizens who get engaged and not only donate but leave words of support and really give messages of hope that our members actually say have as much impact as the dollars themselves. And then this community of nonprofits. It's been amazing, just, launching in Salt Lake this year. If you've read in the news how much that they have done to really reduce homelessness by about 90% in the last 6 years. And so for us to build a network and have, communities like that and be able to share those best practices is really important to us.
So within the Bay Area itself, do you feel that Hand Up is, you're obviously headquartered here in San Francisco. Is there a plan to headquarter yourself anyplace else? Or, I know the program's been somewhat San Francisco-centric, which is a great place to start, given that, what was the latest count? Something like 7,500 to 8,000 people are homeless in San Francisco now?
Yeah, it goes, the official count is like 6,100, but
right.
A lot of folks, agree that it's higher than that.
Yeah, I just heard the mayor speak in front of the Board of Supervisors 2 weeks ago at their meeting, and that was, one of the supervisors asked what was being done. I think it was Julie Christian, and the increase was 27% in this last year.
Yeah.
So, it's close to almost 1% of the population. Mm-hmm. And that's just in San Francisco. So is there a plan to, go and actually create a ecosystem in Oakland or in San Jose or in Richmond?
That's a great question. We do have partners in the East Bay and in the South Bay. So Bay Area Community Services over in Oakland, as well as Abode Services, serving Fremont and a lot of Santa Clara County as well. We definitely see ourselves growing. The beauty of the Hand Up model is we are really focused on the technology and working with the existing human service agencies. So we don't physically need to have a location in every city. Just by facilitating those partnerships and growing those, we're able to grow our reach across the Bay and across the nation.
If I was a corporate sponsor or partner listening to the show, how would I get engaged in helping Hand Up scale itself?
We have a lot of different opportunities to work with. We've worked with, we actually just did an outreach day working with Zendesk and Dropbox and Supercell and a number of local companies. So we can get engaged in employee engagement opportunities through different giving opportunities, and especially matching. Again, having that partnership with Google has been amazing, and doing different engagement with in companies like that is a really powerful way to partner with us and grow this brand.
So you brought up the outreach day. Could you share a little bit about the whole idea of doing an outreach and how many people you actually reached? And I think it was a 4-hour window.
Yeah, it was very cool to see. We had about 50 folks come out. We were able to give out hygiene kits to over 200 San Franciscans, out on the streets who needed help that day. And, we don't have set plans on when we'll be doing those. We're planning at least annually for SF Outreach Day. And really the message with that is simple. It's just connecting, saying hello to our homeless neighbors. Sometimes, one gentleman I talked to hadn't heard his own name in several weeks. And just to have a conversation and let people know, we're here and we care about one another is a huge step in and of itself. And then, of course, to pair that outreach with a gift card and really, pass on some value that person can use is really powerful.
And can you explain to our listeners what a hygiene kit is?
Yes. So socks are huge. If you don't have clean socks, it leads to all kinds of foot disease. You're walking around all the time. Having clean socks is huge. So anytime you can give those out is great. Soap, shampoo, toothbrush, toothpaste, really, really basic essentials to hygiene. This is, part of why we love Lava May, getting more of the mobile shower buses out there. There are not enough shower facilities in this city, and, it's hard to have your dignity if you're not clean.
Sammy, I know that Hand Up is basically thinking about putting together a holiday program of some sort, because it appears that every year in holiday time period, people start to think about giving money to others. So could you kind of walk me through what the holiday program is? I think this is the first time that you guys have done something like this.
Yeah. Holidays are, as you can imagine, really, really important to our community. People who have, aren't with their family anymore. It can be really isolating and lonely. So we definitely encourage folks to give. This year we will be offering end-of-year giving opportunities with tax-deductible donations, and we'll have a whole page up on that. You'll also be able to dedicate a donation to a family member or a friend. So give the gift of supporting homelessness, which is a great way to help us. Additionally, purchasing gift cards. You can give gift cards and go out on the street. It's a great way to bond and get to know your neighbors. And then finally, for corporations or companies interested in getting involved, we'll be offering a series of matching campaigns over the holidays. So if you want to get involved for Giving Tuesday or other big days coming up, that's a great time of year to give.
Last final question. What do you think are the largest issues facing the homeless community? And let's just use San Francisco since you spent the most time here.
Yeah. That's a good question. I mean, San Francisco is definitely a unique case given our housing crisis, and it's really the main driver. That's actually the number one way that folks use Hand Up right now is for housing related issues. And so, it's a very, very complicated issue that's obviously layered in so many different ways. But that's definitely one of the biggest. And after seeing the success in places like Utah, New Orleans has actually followed the housing first model. And so if we can get people into homes, we can actually look at, employment and trauma and all kinds of other services. But until we can really have a strategy that focuses on that, it's really challenging to address the other issues.
Thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience about what you've discovered, where you'd like to go?
Yeah, I guess just, again, really reiterating the importance of reclaiming our collective humanity and not seeing homeless individuals as objects or as a problem that we need to push away, but recognizing these are our neighbors. These are our former members of families, and in order to kind of change this, we have to start within ourselves and change the way that we perceive one another and see each other as human.
The Hand Up team has offered to work with the Hearts program to use the Hand Up giving platform to launch a book and food campaign to raise funds for fellow CCSF students. Please check back with Voices of the Community for the next Heart update on when this campaign will launch. If you are just joining us, today we are discussing homelessness in San Francisco and speaking with Chris Schaefer, Program Director of City College of San Francisco's Homeless At-Risk Transitional Students Program, also known as Hearts, Angel Vaya, a City College of San Francisco student who is using the services of Hearts, and Sammy Rayner, co-founder of Hand Up, a charitable giving web-based platform.
Did you know that 1 in 6 Americans struggle with hunger? They're our friends. They're our coworkers. Their kids go to school with our kids. Sometimes we're not even aware that they're struggling. This problem is closer than you think, but so is the solution. Visit feedingamerica.org today and find your local food bank for ways to help. Together, we're Feeding America. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
I want to thank Chris and Sammy for sharing their stories about how they're each helping to find solutions for homelessness. and Angel for her courage to share how she's using the Hearts program to change her life. As you've heard on today's show, homelessness is a very complex issue. There's no one easy solution. To tackle homelessness in the city of San Francisco, it requires developing solutions that support our community members with wraparound services such as housing, food, transit, mental health services, physical health services, drug and alcohol addiction rehab and ongoing recovery services, financial services, clothing, job skills training, and daycare. I hope you have enjoyed our first show, Homeless in San Francisco. If after listening to our show you would like to support the organizations that we've talked to today and help out your fellow community member who finds themselves homeless, here's how to help. With the Hearts program, you could donate to the City College of San Francisco's Controller's Office with a note that funds be directed to Hearts for their textbook and foods funds. Send your check to City College of San Francisco, 50 Phelan Avenue, San Francisco, California, 94112. With regards to Hand Up, you can buy gift cards and engage our homeless community members or become a monthly sustaining donor of any amount that works for you to help our homeless citizens secure needed funds on an ongoing basis. Go to www.handup.org. And to help out the over 2,000 homeless students attending San Francisco Public Schools, you can donate to the San Francisco Unified School District's Homeless Children Fund. Send your donation to San Francisco Unified School District, 555 Franklin Street, San Francisco, California, 94102. In part 2 of our show on homeless in San Francisco, we will be talking to Bevan Dufty, the director of the Mayor's Housing Opportunity Partnership and Engagement Program, about the plans for the Navigation Center program expansion, along with additional services that Bevan is working on. Additionally, we'll be looking at other innovative approaches to providing services to our homeless fellow community members through a conversation with Lava Bay, who is converting retired minibuses into mobile showers, as well as Project Homeless Connect, which provides a one-stop service connection for homeless citizens to obtain medical, dental, vision, and employment assistance. You're listening to KCSF's Voices of the Community. This is part 1 of our Homeless in San Francisco show. We are producing part 2, which will be broadcast over the next month. Please tune in to our next show, October 27th, which will be on the Bayview community in San Francisco. You can find us on Mixcloud through searching Voices of the Community for postings of past and upcoming shows. Thank you again for listening to KCSF's Voices of the Community.